I think that's what the meta is like evolving even further as like the group stages go on. It's like a team picks this, then there's in game you almost can't even tell.
FY, is he going to get this one? It looks like it.
Oh,
the early bounty rune is the typical play where you want to try and pick up a health potion just to give yourself that extra bit of regen, and that is immediately picked up. Not a very solid disable. In fact, Lanm, they're going to reintroduce themselves to Lanm, who almost goes down, but a really good overgrowth play. They manage to get up the Hex, and a big Sonic Wave on top of the Impale to go down. Tusk just barely gets away. Super's left with no support. Pops the ultimate, good vacuum back. Vici Gamer going to be forced away from the Roshan pit, but it's kind of a disjointed fight. YJ's in the front line. C2I is actually blink forward with BKB going for Fenrir. Cold Embrace saves him. Snowball in. iceiceice trying to control the Gyrocopter for as long as possible in order to get Super out, but Super will still be run down by EHOME. The last couple of right clicks, and they do get hit. Vici Gaming still trying to cause some trouble, though. Buyback now from the Dragon Knight. Farther down, FY is now being caught by Lanm. EHOME group up once again in order to claim another fight, but rOtk is dropping lower and lower as the Ember Spear is now going to just clean things up. YJ goes down, blink away just in time from CTY, who claims the Bounty Hunter kill, but oh, there goes the Sleight of Fist. How claims him in the end, and Vici Gaming will now take Roshan for themselves. It was a very long, drawn-out, discombobulated fight, but it worked to Vici Gaming's advantage.
Oh man, but that's the thing is that you have to be so careful when you're fighting against the Dire side because it's so much more efficient for them to go for the buyback. Especially when they have a tier 2 up in mid, because they can...
The Vici Gaming are forced back. They've already committed the Dragon Knight ultimate. They don't really need much more, but Vici Gaming are still going to try and go uphill. They lose the Aegis now, though. They'll be a little bit more tepid without trying to force these fights. Missed Impale out. rOtk actually dropping lower and lower. iceiceice couldn't quite get the Walrus punch there, but the bouncing Shuriken gets him in the end. Butterfly is now complete for the Gyrocopter, so maybe they can still win a fight if Vici Gaming choose to continue to force it uphill, but they're still missing their great grouping mechanism in that vacuum because, unfortunately, rOtk is dead without a buyback.
Yeah, now House committed as Manta for this push too, so whatever they have before with the Orchid, it's not going to be as effective, and it looks like they still want to get into a fight though.
Oh, YJ is actually hit by the Dragon's Tail stun before he can get on BKB. Now he pops it, but he's already low. It doesn't seem to matter though. They don't have the physical damage to punish YJ when he was sitting at a 3rd HP. House sitting in the background, another Sleight of Fist gets laid out. It brings him decently low, but now the Hex is caught. How? CTY hoping to be able to punish him. Can't quite get there in time though. The rest of Vici Gaming start backing up. How? Hoping to be able to get a big critical. Does manage to get the chains. They come back in force to be able to eliminate the Queen of Pain, but YJ's going to be able to get both of the kills because of that. Wiping Vici Gaming, YJ, Yang, ZYF, whatever. This is someone like, well, most notably the Ember Spirit, but maybe a hero like, say, the Winter Wyvern. They are able to catch him first because they jump and disable him.
Yes. Okay, both teams are doing what I said. I'm so happy about this.
All right, this is going to be a crazy 5-man smoke by YJ. First run in, iceiceice instantly blinking himself away. Super power to BKB, and there goes Lanm. He tried to blink forward to get that disable. House sitting on the side, on the left-hand side, just trying to get Sleight of Fist, but he does run into deep C, ready to go with the overgrowth at any point in time. But no, he actually jumps back to his friend, and CT5 comes forward. Super is now no longer has the BKB. The overgrowth holding him in place. Now the vacuum managed to get a big wall in, and Super now drops his own illusions. They turn around and get the breathe fire. 2 down on the side of EHOME, but everyone's low on Vici Gaming. Now they get the Winter's Curse onto YJ, but there's just not enough damage, at least not yet anyway. Now with the MKB, How focuses down the Gyrocopter, and they win the fight. 4 down. Vici Gaming didn't drop a single hero.
Super was...
Really?
Yeah.
I figure, I mean, the Sight Device gives him increased hack damage, plus gives him a solid disable versus the Ember. Like right now, Orchid is a soft disable.
I guess. But I don't even think it's that.
Oh, Jesus, Lanm, that was not the blink! Oh, God! He almost gets bursted down by that Sleight of Fist. The last couple of right-click damage up, and Fenrir is enough to finish him off. Now the Snowball actually saving Super mid-BKB, and he popped it on Illusion as well. He was in the front line. Super is still going to be caught up, but there goes! They get the Golden Brace on top of that. The Glimmer came down the turnaround, and CTY is controlled. Super dropping lower, but so too does YJ. How is ready to make the commitment soon, as YJ now pops the Satanic, trying to eat through the lifesteals, keeping him alive, but still, the MKB is enough to finish off the Gyrocopter, and How jumps away. CTY desperate to get the kill, blinks forward and gets him in the end. CTY though now having to battle up against the 2 supports. Blinks forward, goes for Fenrir, who cannot get out. CTY gets that kill. FY now being chased away by DDC with the gem. If they can keep in pace, they'll be able to kill FY, but They need to pass off the gem to CTY. That's actually what... Oh, he's a double gem. He's going to get FY. There's no way he gets out of this one anymore. And that's a why Vici Gaming lose all 5 of their heroes, and EHOME only dropped 2. It's the 2 cores, Dark Seer on the Gyrocopter, but CTY just brought big time. He finds a situation like this. How, though? Lotus Orb. There it is. Another defensive great item. Lanm immediately targeted. They still have like physical control. How? But now they managed to get a good back beat into the wall, controlling some of these heroes. FY is probably going to be the first to drop. But no, actually they managed to get a really good Winter's Curse controlling YJ. There goes the ultimate down from CTY, and Super now controlled by the Overgrowth. Pops the BKB and runs himself away. The Lotus Orb is helping him out. Hound sitting in the background trying to get more sleight of fists, but nobody is brought low enough for him to be able to make a commitment. Fenrir will go down eventually. Now Super is in some serious trouble. iceiceice in the background managed to pick up another kill on rOtk, but it's how that's the important one. He gets controlled up. Orchid takes him out. Super even going for the kill on DDC, but congratulations, you killed a tree, but you lost a dragon.
That was 100 gold. That's half of an ultimate, or more than half of an ultimate. He's almost got it. 1-1 team fight, and they can just grab one fully.
And maybe a big off on CTY. Spray when it started, gets on the BKB. Waller's Punch still controls him. So too does the Winter's Curse. They're trying to beat him down, and they will be successful. How now pops his mansion in order to get out of the overgrowth.
He one-shots the tree.
Oh dear, there goes the tree protector. He's controlled by the missile, but How doesn't care. It seems like the fight has already kind of been won. rOtk comes in with vacuum. They know the Queen of Pain is on her way, thanks to that buyback, but EHOME are still trying to force it. They come forward with the Hex. rOtk is now going to be turned around on. He hasn't got the wall just yet. Now pops it. The mech goes, oh, the Gyrocopter gets blown up by the sleight of fist, and the Queen of Pain is just too late. iceiceice is now here. Lotus Orb on him will be able to protect, get Lanm. That was a buyback that just, I'm not sure what they thought there. That CTY was somehow going to be able to make his way from the fountain all the way to the right side of the map in time to be a part of that engagement.
That How has to bless whatever RNG god that he knows for the 2 crits that he got right there to instantly blow up 2 different heroes. The tree was there, and then he Houdini'd out of there. He's like, I'm gone. It's almost like he was a tango and he got eaten, and oh my, that was incredible. 1300 crit. He was next on one of his teammates once he sees the overcommitment. And then
there it is.
Yeah, and then
Roshan
Super drops
down to half HP, so.
And then Super gets a cheese, I guess. They get an Aegis on iceiceice.
EHOME, this is pretty much do or die for them. They really don't want to let 2 sets of racks go down. Bottom already leading with the first Hex, but this is the thing. Super.
The
it
reverse
actually
rocket
waits until the missile. You really see a reason why missile would have worked that way too.
Super so tanky though. Yeah, they're just gonna let him frontline tank.
Oh, rOtk! That was a preemptive blink! They managed to sacrifice him off immediately. Now Super's going to be able to get the Dragon to plus the Winter's Curse, continuing to control these heroes. CTY may just be bursting down before anything happens. There it goes! A snowball knocks it down. A great vacuum wall combination, but YJ needs to stay alive, and he can't. The Satanic is not good enough, and Vici Gaming just taking out EHOME in one final climactic team fight. A nice big critical for How to show off. Wiping EHOME, and Vici Gaming look healthy as ever.
CTY has been so careful this game, and then in the last 2 fights, he couldn't get anything off. Like, he didn't get his ultimate. His refresher was untouched in the last 10 minutes that he's had it. And they were just, EHOME was just so careful and methodical the entire game. They were so disciplined, and for them to lose like that, I think they're going to be incredibly disappointed.
EHOME once again show